Welcome to our 2022 summer graduation. I'd like to give yourselves a round of applause for coming out to support our graduates. So at this time, I am going to have our graduates come to, are they ready? Can everyone please stand? And at this time, I'm going to ask that we stand for the National Anthem. And we have our very own Miss Melinda Baker, who will lead us in the National Anthem.
Our very own nervous Melinda Baker. So, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
She pulled something out of that I did not know was there. Okay, thank you. Let's give Mrs. Baker another round of applause. Okay. And at this time, I'm going to have Dr. Courtney Graves, our board president, come before us.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Ferguson-Florissant School District and the Board of Education, I would like to say welcome. Welcome moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, family, friends, and most of all, welcome class of 2022 graduates. So let me be the first to say congratulations. Today is a great day. It's a day to celebrate with your family and friends. A day you've been waiting for since you entered kindergarten those 13 years ago. High school graduation is just the next step into your education. You're headed to a university, a community college, apprenticeship training, maybe the Army, the Navy, to a daunting task of preparing for the career you want to pursue. So after the pomp and circumstance is over and you enter the life of adulting, take the diploma you received today as your insurance policy with the premium paid in full. But the hard work over the past 13 years. The value of that policy depends on how much effort you put into your education and what you do with it as you go on. As a summer graduate, your struggle was different. You faced trials and tribulations, but by faith, mercy, and hard work, you are here today, celebrating this wonderful achievement. Use your diploma. Take advantage of what it offers. Statistics show that your high school diploma is your passport to higher earnings and protection against tough economic times. It's not a guarantee, but it will always be a help. Take those experiences with you. Keep close to students, teachers, support staff, and friends you've made here. Know that when times get hard, as they always do, you have a place that you can always come home to. No matter your struggle, no matter your fight, you will always have a Ferguson-Florissant family to come home and to support you wherever you go and whatever you do. You've earned your passport. Use it well. Congratulations again to each of you, and may you succeed in the years ahead. Thank you.
And we will have opening remarks from our leader, Dr. Joseph Davis, Superintendent of Ferguson-Florissant School District. Let's give him a round of applause.
I grew up in the black church, and we didn't mind shouting. And when she finished singing a minute ago, I started to take me a lap, cut me a step or two. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. To our parents, teachers, principals, those who are here supporting our graduates, I want you to know how proud we are of you. This has been a milestone, your graduation day. And I want to say congratulations to you, the class of 2022. Give them a round of applause again, y'all. So I'm going to be really brief because I know how important this is to you. And I want you to hear my words, and I'm going to go slow with it because I want you to take these words with you. Your graduation is not the end of your learning journey. The next 10 years of your life will define you for the rest of your life. I challenge each of our graduates not to look back on the past because it really prepared you for this day, but look forward to the future. You had to call on what I call a will deep inside of you to show up and take your place today. You'll look back on this day 10 years from now, and perhaps you'll say the words that my grandma, a wise woman, would say and said to me many times. She would say, "I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. He may not come when you want him, but he is always on time." And she would go on to say that in times of trouble, I found him to be a friend of mine. In times of storm clouds, when they rise, he's always there. And every burden that you've got, he can bear it for you. And I'm telling you that you made it to this place bearing a lot of burdens, and obstacles to overcome, but you had a will that kept you on this path, and you made it to this day. I carry her words of wisdom with me, her love and her encouragement every day. In fact, I carry her spirit as my guide. Remember that this is your race, and only you can run it. Mama can't do it for you. Daddy can't, grandma, only you can run this race. Focus not on what could have or should have been, and turn your attention to what is, the here and the now. You are here now, August 10th, 2022, graduating with your high school diploma. It is your ticket to a good life. Get on the right train. And here are 4 quick things I want to leave you to help you get on the right train. Number 1, let your voice be tied to a higher voice, and let it be the loudest voice that you listen to. Follow that voice. Number 2, take care of your mind by educating it so that you can earn a good living, one you can look back on and be proud of. Number 3, take care of your physical body and help those in your circle take care of theirs. Health and happiness are bound together inextricably. And number 4, one of my favorite ones, 2 words, no debt. Keep your bills low and your credit good, and it'll serve you for life. Like Grandma would say, owe no man anything but love. You have overcome many challenges to make it this far, and I'm deeply proud of you as a daddy. I'm deeply proud of you. No one really knows what you had to go through, but you do. Take heart and courage with you everywhere you go as you make life better for yourself. You have the ticket, get on the train, and I encourage you to help someone else along the way. And if you do that, then you can say at the end of it all that my living wasn't in vain. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Give them another round.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. I'd like to take this time to recognize some very important and supportive individuals who found the time today to come out and celebrate our students. We could not do it without these leaders. So I would like to introduce our Board of Education at this time and thank them for their ongoing support as we work to give our students all that they need. So at this time, I'm going to ask that our board stand as I call your name. Dr. Courtney Graves, our president. Give her a round of applause. Miss Tiffany Bush, our vice president. Dr. Donna Paulette Thurman, director. Mrs. Jillian Dunn, who's serving as board member and mom today, so let's give her a round of applause. We have a few that could not be with us today. Mr. Terry Tyson, assistant secretary. Dr. Kevin M. Martin, secretary. And Dr. Sheila Powell Walker, director. And then I'd like to also recognize leaders, building leaders, who have been working tirelessly with our graduates. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Melendez, who is our director of the Restoration and Wellness Center, to please stand. Let's give him a round of applause. Dr. Cedric Gerald, principal of Mcclure High School. And we have Mr. Bobby Hughes, 12th grade principal at Mcclure North High School. Dr. King, assistant principal at Mcclure North High School. Dr. Harris, assistant principal at Mcclure North High School. And I saw Mrs. Fry, teacher at Restoration and Wellness, who was working hard this summer to support our graduates. If we can give her a round of applause. And so at this time, I'd like to have a student. She was class of 2020. She's going to speak with us. I asked Ms. Slusher to speak with us because she has quite a story. You may have seen her in the paper for her entrepreneurship in St. Louis, and now she's moved on to Los Angeles, but she had quite a journey. I remember her as a little 6-year-old running down the halls of Combs Elementary School and ran into her again in 2020. She was in the building seeking support on how she can be a graduate because life had taken some turns and she realized that she needed her diploma, as Dr. Graves had shared. And so she just wanted some guidance, and We worked with Restoration and Wellness Center, worked with Miss Slusher. She graduated that year, opened her own business that year, opened a beauty consultancy, also is doing some work in Los Angeles. And I just felt her story is definitely worth sharing. So let's give Miss Slusher a round of applause.
Hi, everybody. I'm a little nervous. Okay, but I am very excited to be here. Miss Bland is everything. Dr. Bland is everything. So, like she said, she was my principal in elementary school. Later, met her in 2020 when I was trying to graduate. So, me in high school was like, I hated it. I'm just going to be honest. But now, as moving into adulthood, I understand the importance of education, and everything that they were telling me is completely real in reality. And I was like, when she texted me and was like, I want you to come speak, and my daughter has been talking about you to me. I'm like, wow, like, really? You really want me to come? And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. She got my ticket from LA to here, and I came, and the whole Uber ride here, I was just thinking, wow, the last time I walked into this building, I was in a whole completely different mindset. My mindset was like, oh my God, nobody understands me. Why do I have to do this? I'm not going to need any of this after. But now, as being an entrepreneur and being a business owner and have working with other women that are younger, just like me or older, and just seeing different mindsets in life, different experiences, you understand that everything you're going through now is framing you for where you want to be. And if it wasn't for me continuing on and not giving up when the odds were against me, I wouldn't be where I am today. It was a lot of times I could have just given up. I could have went a different route. I could have followed other people, peers and things I went to school with, but I had a vision. I always knew I wanted to have my own business. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't understand in that block of my environment, how could that connect to where I wanted to be? Who cared about where I wanted to be? It was just me, so it builds a lot of anger as a child or a teen to feel like you don't have that support at home that you need. But what I did was I brought that support from myself, and I just went as hard as I could go. And I just never looked back. When I went to Missouri Options, it wasn't that I had bad grades or anything like that. I just had stopped going to school just because when I went to school, I didn't feel like a child. When I was outside of school, I felt like an adult. So when I had to go to school and people were telling me what to do and I had to listen to authority and discipline, it didn't connect with me, and I didn't like it. So I pushed away from it. But it was me just one day sitting in my room and understanding, where do you want to be? Reading books, educating myself outside of school is really what helped me frame the fact that, okay, you came this far, you've been going to school since you were a kid, let's just finish it off. I remember when I wanted to go to Missouri Options, I had to enroll in school as my own adult. I had to Uber here, I had to Uber to different districts to try to get enrolled. And I remember when I finally got accepted with Mcclure, because that was the area I was living, and I was like, I don't even know anybody here. So when I graduated Missouri Options, I didn't walk the stage. I had the option to, but I didn't want to because I was at the salon every day building my business. So I felt like, oh, I don't even know anybody there. I never even went to the school. I just went and did the online courses. So I don't want to go. But that was one of my biggest mistakes, I would say. If anybody have the opportunity to walk or have a moment like this where people care and they gather to celebrate you no matter what you went through and how far you came, to show you that, you know what, after this stepping stone, you can come out more on top than you ever thought. I always thought me not going to college was going to be my greatest downfall in life. It was a very depressing time period for me because I always wanted to go to NYU. I went to North Tech. I took fashion as far as I could take it. And when I got to that point to where I realized, who's saving for college for me? How am I going to get there? I mean, I have fair grades, but it wasn't what I needed, 4.0 average to get into NYU. So it just wasn't realistic for me. And at that moment, I could have given up and I could have said, you know what, I don't care about it anymore. But I took my dream and I continued to pour into it with what I had. I just like to say you don't need money to start with your dreams. You don't have to be a business owner to be successful. But as long as you're going for something in life and you have a goal and you understand that we are here for a purpose, then you can frame your own future no matter who supports, no matter who's cheering you on, or no matter how much you have into your account. I used the small resources I had, and I would like to say networking framed everything for me. It was about who I met, who I talked to. It was a lot of counselors that I connected with that to this day helped me frame my speaking career. You know, I never thought that I would be a motivational speaker. When I opened my salon, actually, I was at the point to where I did it. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted a salon. I'm here. I did it. But as you continue in life, your dreams change, your path change. You know, when you graduate, you can probably think, okay, I'm going to get a degree in this field. And then 10 years later, you're doing something completely different. That's how I feel now. And I didn't even go to college. Everything that I wake up and I see in my life now is something that I thought I would get when I was 30 plus. So for me to be 20 years old and make it my own reality, you know, being able to move to LA and open my salon and doing things like that, it was very, very, very difficult. I was literally in this same building, angry, upset, and not understanding why my life was the way it was and who was going to help me. Now, I had to completely have a reality check and understand nobody's coming to save me. You have to save yourself. And when I was in Missouri Options and I was taking those tests on the computer, I felt like I was completely doomed. And I was going to be broke and I was going to be I didn't know where I was going to be, actually. That the whole time I was doing the test, I just kept thinking, where is my life going? But as long as I continued for what I wanted, my dream, I was networking every day. I was contacting people. I was emailing. I was reading books. I was educating myself in other ways, not just going to school. I would pay for business courses and I would go up there and they would say, how old are you? And I would tell them like, oh, I'm 18. And they're like, what? How did you find this place? And I'm like, oh, Eventbrite. I looked it up, you know, and I contacted them and I just went and I didn't care about my age or I didn't care how much it was. Every dollar I made. I had my first and last job at McDonald's. I worked there for 6 months. I hated it. I felt like they treated us like crap, but I understood that people treat you a certain way based off who you are in life, you know, who the level of respect they feel like they should give you based off where you are. So I realized if I always put myself in a position like this, to work in places like this, to be surrounded around people like this is how I'm going to get treated. So until I took that leap of faith and I said, you know what, I'm going to use all the money I earned from McDonald's and I'm going to pour it into my brow career. And I just start literally doing as many clients as possible. I had so many clients. I didn't have off days. I didn't have Mondays or Tuesdays off. I got me a little studio. I started paying booth rent, and I framed everything I needed for myself. I educated myself. Okay, how do you start a business? I need an LLC. I need this. I need an accountant. I need somebody to show me how to do my back office. Things like that is what framed me to just self-educating myself and now being able to impact other people my age to know that you can start now. You can start where you left off, and you can definitely start where the trauma started. So that's what I like to leave with you, and I thank you for having me, and I'm so proud of you guys for continuing on.
Thank you. I am looking forward to Ms. Slusher. She will be doing many workshops with some of our young ladies also. So I'm just looking forward to her pouring into our young people. Many times you hear when it's from those peers very similar to you. So I'm hoping that she can pour into our young people, and hopefully they'll be opening their own businesses and being entrepreneurs. So at this time, this is why you guys all came, was to celebrate your graduates. And I must say, let's give our parents and family another round of applause. I mean, we have 6 graduates, and we have a room full of very proud family members. So thank you all. That just speaks volumes to our village that we have for our students. So thank you all. This is heartwarming, I must say so. We're going to start with our Mcclure North graduates. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Hughes to come up. And I'm going to ask our board members to come forward so that we can shake hands and they don't. Okay. So in light of our need to be distant, okay, we're going to hand out the diplomas. Dr. Graves will come up. We're not going to shake hands. We're just going to, they're going to walk by and nod and just give a bump. That's right. All right. It's all yours.
Okay, Mcclure North graduates, once again, congratulations. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you, parents, for not giving up and persevering, and guardians and grandparents and siblings. First up, I want to call up David Emery Bailey, Jr. Next, call up Cass Anthony Brazil. Next, Nyla Nicole Iden. And next, Leon McCall III.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to ask Dr. Gerald to come up, please. He's principal of Mcclure High School.
Good afternoon, and again, congratulations to our graduates and to their families. I have the pleasure of awarding 2 diplomas for Mcclure High School class of 2022. I would like to first call Mr. Ian Paul Gray. Let's give Ian another round of applause. And we also have graduating today, Mr. Edward Philip Reese. Way to pack the house out, Edward. Thank you.
And so the moment you guys have been waiting for, Dr. Davis is going to come over, and he will declare our graduates at this time.
All right, I know y'all are proud, aren't you? All right. Dr. Graves, if you'll join me up front. All right, all graduates, please stand. He's celebrating already. So this is an important moment for you, Dr. Graves, principals, leaders. On behalf of the board and myself, by the power vested in me by the state of Missouri and by the Ferguson-Florissant School Board, I certify that each of these graduates have met the requirements to receive their high school diploma. And I now declare that you are high school graduates. Give them a round of applause. All right, celebrate, yes. All right, graduates, please turn your tassel. Listen, we have a celebration in the cafeteria area. I'm sorry, Dr. We have celebration in the cafeteria area. We have punch and good cake and all that good stuff. So please go back and celebrate. And let's let the class of 22 head out and give them another round as they leave. Awesome.